Hi, I'm Asma, your host today. Welcome to Articulate, where we dive into the minds of amazing artists. And today we are with
Jon Kabongo. Appreciate you for having me.
Appreciate you for coming too. So what do you do?
I feel like it's pretty simple. You know, I make music. I'm an artist. But at the same time, I do have a vision for a lot of different things. So I think that's where it could get more complex. But at the foundation of it, I'm just an artist.
Okay, that's good. So I brought you here today, Jon.
Okay.
There's gonna be a fun twist to this interview. It's not just a regular podcast or interview where you're just gonna talk about what you do.
Okay.
So there's a little game called the Black Card Game.
Okay.
So which there's 3 different questions.
Okay.
Pretty unique.
All right.
That kind of align to what you do or what I think of you.
Okay.
And then you're just gonna pick one and paint throughout the whole interview.
All right.
What do you think about that?
Let's do it. I'm not a good painter, but I feel like, you know, it's like I said, I like to do new things. I like to try new things. So I feel like
this is new. I'm careful. I'm joking. So while you're diving into this question, what drew you first to music?
Man, I feel like for me, it's just like growing up with like older siblings and like listening to what they listen to.
Okay.
You know, when you're young, like
Are you the youngest?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just do whatever your older siblings are doing, right?
You just follow it.
Yeah. So like whatever they're listening to, I'm getting into. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I feel like artists that I listen to a lot because of my siblings was like Kanye, T.I., Jay-Z. Who else? Honestly, those 3. Like, especially.
First memory. Like,
I feel like those 3 artists are very, very like core memories when it comes to like music. You know, I just remember like knowing all of these people because of my older siblings. Like what I would do is like I would go on the computer and everything they downloaded.
You would just download? I
would just listen to it. I'm like, okay, I like this one, so then I download that.
Okay.
You know, so I feel like, yeah, that's really.
Like you weren't questioning why, you just would listen to it. And
I mean that's kind of like where I feel like my journey with music started, just in terms of listening. Let me try to start this.
No, try, go for it.
Let me see what I'm gonna do.
Do you remember the first song you wrote and how it made you feel?
You know what's crazy? I do.
Oh, you do?
And I was very young.
Okay, I can't wait to hear it.
And I remember it. If you want to hear it.
Okay, go for it.
I feel like it's hilarious memory, and I don't know how I remember this, but I never forgot.
Muscle memory, you know, when you're a kid, you remember those things.
Nah, so I was grade 2, right?
Wow, you were.
And you remember the song by Beyonce, "Ring the Alarm"?
Yes, I remember that song. Yeah.
It was like a remix to that song.
Okay.
And like one of my older siblings, they used to call me Jaybird, right?
Okay.
So the song was called like If You Don't Know My Name, and then like it went.
Do you wanna give a little intro?
Nah, I'm definitely going to.
Okay, go for it.
So it was like, if you don't know my name is Jay Bird, and my name you never ever heard. And I go, I'm so nice. My mouth is ice. I'm bling bling. Chiao. I'm better than you, and I'm only in grade 2. You said you want beef, so what you gonna do? You don't want it with my crew, cause we got green light, Mountain Dew. If you don't know my name is Jay Bird. I will never forget that. Never.
That's
no matter how old I get, I will never forget that. And I don't know why I still remember that.
And you spit it to your brothers and siblings?
Of course. Everybody.
Wow.
Everybody.
How would you say from your first song from grade 2 to Jon today? Like how did it evolve?
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I lived in a lot of different places because of basketball.
You can where?
I lived in West Virginia.
Okay.
And I lived in Virginia. And yeah, just going there for school and stuff like that, it's a different experience. Like I'm not in the city anymore. I'm not with family. I'm like chasing this dream. I'm trying to find my way, meeting new people, building new bonds and relationships.
Of course.
So I feel like that really, like that journey, I think is something that I talk a lot about on my last project. You know, it's just really taking people through that journey, because there's so many different things that happened.
Of course.
You know, so many places I went, so many people I met, so many things that I've learned and experienced, that it kind of almost feels like it's like a separate life.
Like we lived so many different lives.
Like, you know, it was like a whole different life, and then it's like where I'm at now, it feels, even though that made me who I am today, it's so disconnected
from who you are today, right?
So it's like a different life in a way.
It's a different genre.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily feel like within myself I'm different.
Of course.
It's just more so like my day-to-day, my aspirations, my responsibilities, different things like that change so much that I feel like, it's like, okay, even though I learned from that, this is a whole different thing, you know?
How do you keep pushing forward when life throws you challenges? It kind of goes back to sacrifice, but or if you can, elaborate on that.
It's purpose. I feel like, sometimes a lot of people, including myself, like you just forget why you're doing something. And then you could catch yourself just like doing it because you've been doing it, and then you just like realize like, okay, well, this is not motivating anymore if you're doing it just to do it. But then when you remind yourself why you're doing it, you're like, oh, well, I'm doing it because of this. I'm doing it because whatever, it's different for everybody.
Yeah, and I feel like it changes too, but remember why you first started? It's whenever you're feeling down to remember.
And that, I think, that always carried me through, because it's like, it's a very like simple way to motivate yourself. Like, I think purpose is always what gets me through any type of adversity, for real. The question was, if your latest project had a mood board, what would it be? All right? So don't judge me for making stick figures, because I know that's crazy. But look, listen. It was like little stage, older stage, a little bit older. And it's just like my development and where I was in those times. Because, my last project is about my life. So these are the different places that I lived, right? When I was a kid, I was in Toronto. I got older, I was in West Virginia, a little older Virginia. And then as an adult, now I'm in Toronto again. So, it's like my evolution, and the places that I was.
Like Little John to John.
Exactly. Because I feel like I had to put myself in those locations when I was writing the song.
Of course.
So, I don't know.
Wow, I love it. Thank you so much. Well, I want to show it.
All right, good.
I want to see it because, wow, I love it. You see, that's all I want. It doesn't have. You don't have to be Picasso.
I tried it.
Just express yourself.
Put me on the spot.
Thank you, Jon.
I appreciate it.
All right.